Hello, this is the inaugural episode of the Nightway Media Podcast. Today we have two guests representing the swim team in...
Jeb Hughes
Tim Hardin.
Alright guys, so if someone knows absolutely nothing about swim, how would you describe a meet?
I'd say it's just a group of swimmers on either team, much like a track meet, where they all compete individually in individual races. They try to beat their own times, or they can compete in relays with other people on a set team of 4 swimmers. And meets can be small to large, ranging from about 20 swimmers. I think the largest we had last year was close to 300 at region or something. And
Well, fall preview gets to 400 and 500.
Yeah, and then state was maybe close to 1,000 swimmers.
Yeah.
So
they're really high energy too.
So is there like a schedule in which they do them at the meets?
There's a heat sheet where
There's
it tells
a heat sheet? Okay, so
tells
it's
you your event and then
categorized.
where you go in that event.
Okay. You said individualized. So would you say that swim is an individualized sport or more of a team sport?
Individualized.
Individualized?
I think so.
Both, actually, because
You are competing for points, but
while you are swimming individually, it feels like a team sport. Like, you'll have people outside of the pool yelling and screaming, and you'll only be able to hear half of what they're saying because their head's underwater. But it's still really funny, especially Tim.
Yeah.
He's our team mascot, per se.
Oh, okay.
Mascot. Okay.
He'll stand at the end of the pool and he'll be screaming his lungs out at you while you're swimming.
So let's talk a little bit about you all as swimmers. Jeb, if you guys don't know, he's the only senior on the team, correct?
Yep.
And Tim, how long have you been swimming for?
like 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years. That's pretty big. To my knowledge, you all lost a lot of seniors this past year. One, can you tell us a little bit about what they brought to the team and how you all not necessarily can replace them, but
Making up for them.
Making up for them, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, we lost seniors, which means we lost points at meets, and
Yep. So
we have been gaining a little bit of time on our relays.
we lost some of our
especially.
best swimmers.
Yeah, especially one night. He was
One night? Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
More than that, I think we lost a little bit of the leadership on the team. So
agree.
we had, at the beginning of the year especially, we had a huge influx of young swimmers. A bunch of middle schoolers. I don't know how young. I think 7th grade is the youngest one on the team, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, how many are actually on the swim team?
Close to 30.
Yeah,
Close to 30.
Yeah,
We went
but
from-
mostly middle school right now.
We went from, what was it, 12 at one point
12
last
last
to
year,
30
this year. It's been a big change.
And we lost the
believe it or not.
seniors. So to make up for that leadership, we have to start stepping up, and that means even sophomores, people that wouldn't usually be the team captains or whatever,
Yeah.
are having to deal with problems that they wouldn't usually have to.
Okay. Are there any standouts so far, the new swimmers, or even the standouts just on returning?
I would say
swimmers?
Xander Lawson and Lucas is probably the 2 big ones that we've gained.
Okay.
They both have a really good work ethic, and they're both very good swimmers.
Okay. So what exactly are you all's practice schedule look like?
So we have practice in the afternoon, 5 days a week. Then we have a Saturday practice, and then an optional, which Jeb knows all about it being optional.
Yes, very optional.
Morning practices Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So when you all do morning practices, is it in the morning and then in the afternoon?
Yep.
Yes.
So is it? I'm assuming it's. I did swim for a little bit, but I'm assuming it's kind of like how you would expect cross country to be. You just get in the pool and just start swimming.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little different from cross country.
There's a lot more drills and stuff.
A lot more technical drills that are like, you wouldn't think they would help you with your swimming, but
they really do.
end up helping
But they
you
do.
a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you do breaststroke. There's a
Yes,
lot for
yes.
breaststroke.
There was one, I don't know if you experienced this while you're on the swim team, where we have a tennis ball.
And you put it under your throat, and then you have to swim with the tennis ball.
Swim with the tennis ball.
Yeah, it's awful, but it helps.
It helps.
What's the point of that?
Because you're supposed to keep your head down.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people, they keep
Bring
their
their head up.
Yes.
Okay.
So any small thing that they need to knock out, they have a drill for it.
I had to do 4 100s of that one time.
fun.
Tip.
So that's really physically demanding, you would assume, doing morning and afternoon practice. How would you say it's difficult to like balance your schedule between that and school and
100%.
keeping a social life?
100%.
Like, what are the difficulties, would you say, in that?
I wouldn't say it's the actual practice itself that takes up so much time, because it's, 2 hours maybe you commit to your day on average. But it's the fatigue that really gets you.
Yeah.
You have to really balance, you have to eat enough, you have to sleep enough, you really have to change your whole lifestyle, or else it's going to really make you super tired.
The amount of endurance it takes just wears you out.
See, like I saw something that said like Michael Phelps, when he was practicing for the Olympics, it was like 12,000 calories a day. I'm not saying that you all would eat that much food, but is there like a diet change?
Yes.
I would say I definitely eat more.
Yes. In my first season, I have a story. So it might have been my 5th or something meet ever. I was a 9th grader. I got home from a meet. It was the longest meet we'd ever done that year.
Which one was it?
I think it was one at Russell County, but it wasn't
Fall preview. It wasn't the fall preview.
It wasn't the fall preview.
See, I hear stories about the Russell County ones a lot.
Yeah.
But I got home and I was so hungry because I forgot to eat breakfast and I hadn't hydrated properly because I just joined the team and I didn't know that would affect me that much.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I ate most of a jar of Jif peanut butter with
Like a spoon, just.
Yes.
Huh.
And I got through a lot of it. Probably 1,500 calories or something close to it in one sitting.
In one sitting?
Yes.
That's impressive.
And then, speaking of homework, Jeb, you also have a story about Hibbert's flashcards in swim.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got a rude awakening because Hibbert's class is really demanding. So we had a meet in Bowling Green, and I think I had maybe 200 something flashcards due. So I was frantically doing the flashcards on the way up to Bowling Green. Got done with the meet. On the way back, I was doing flashcards. I don't think I talked to anybody on the bus.
I swear at one point he was going to start handing them out to us and start letting us.
I was almost
making them.
ready to.
See, if you all didn't know, I was on the swim team for maybe like, it was maybe 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, something like
That was my first meet, and I was doing the exact same thing on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
What was your opinions of swim when you did it?
I thought it was the worst. But, I mean, I wasn't in it for that long, so I'm not going to say that it's a terrible sport. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely not for everyone, but it is.
But it's super fulfilling.
Definitely
Yeah.
an acquired taste.
Like, if you can manage to balance your time, balance your diet, the people that are in swim will support you.
Yeah.
Getting a PR is some of the best I've felt in a sport. Like,
You know, because
looking up at the clock and seeing that I dropped a second or something. It's
you work so hard for it. I mean,
Yeah, it's like instant gratification. Like, I worked 6 months swimming, eating, all sorts of stuff, and it paid off in the end.
yep.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you all's
Okay.
PRs, and I don't necessarily have them in front of me, but what are you all's PRs that you know of?
Oh, by the way, PR means personal record, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think I swim mainly freestyle and breaststroke, which are 2 different strokes. For freestyle, I swim a 50-yard freestyle sprint, and my personal record for that is, I think, 24 flat, maybe a little under. I also swam the 100-yard freestyle, and I PR'd this year, actually. I got a 50, I think it might have been a 57.5.
Yeah.
And that was really rewarding because I don't usually go under a minute on those. And for breaststroke, I think for the 100-yard breaststroke, I think it's 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Which, by the way, Jeb is a lot better at breaststroke than me. So throw that out there.
So how would you say you like rank in terms of 1 on the team and 2 the state, because you all have gone to state,
Yep.
Before. So how would you say that you
You're definitely top 5.
rank
As good swimmers?
as good swimmers? Let's do region. How about that?
Well, I think it really depends on what you're swimming because I'm super bad at long distance. I think the longest distance swim that we have is a 500-yard freestyle. So
That's my event.
If you put me in that event, I will not do too hot. But if you put me in medium length to sprint stuff, I'll do pretty good. But Tim, on the other hand, is the
Well,
opposite.
what would you say is medium length? Because there's, of course, the 50 and 100.
Yes, I'd say 100 maybe could be considered medium length, especially.
But
for
it's
like
still more of a sprint though.
It's still more of a sprint, and then you have 200s and stuff, which are definitely between those.
But even 200, some people consider it a sprint
Yeah.
because you're still going 100 pace, but
For a
doing
longer
100,
amount of
100
time.
yards longer.
Yeah.
There's just so many events you can't really rank each swimmer as better or worse.
Yeah.
Because I'll be good at sprint stuff. Tim's a lot better than me at distance stuff.
So how about you? So you said that is it the 500?
The 500 and then 100 breast is my two main strokes.
So how do you say that you are at those?
I would say I'm all right, but we're getting better.
Getting better?
Yeah, because
That's
the
okay.
500 I just started doing this year. Because in the swim-a-thon, we had to do a swim where we swam for an hour straight without stopping.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I did like 97 laps without stopping or something like that. And I came, me, Kirkland, and Jackson came first on the team. So coach was like, all right, we got to start putting them in the 500. So we're getting better at it, but I have to get to 6:30 to qualify for region.
What's a swim-a-thon?
Basically, we ask people for money, so we swim for an hour.
Is it like per lap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I asked my parents for like 25 cents a lap, and I felt kind of bad because I ended up swimming like 80-something laps, which doesn't convert too well, but
Did you all raise a lot of money though?
I think coach
Pretty
said over
good amount.
3,000.
Over 3,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think that's how much we were expected to make. I don't know. How much
we have a lot of
actually-
dedicated parents too.
Yeah,
That's
that would
great.
be willing
That's
to-
good to have like a good group of people supporting you. You know. So, yeah. Would you say you also play soccer? And do you?
I don't play another sport.
You do a lot
Swim.
of clubs though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is the big difference between swim as opposed to other sports?
I guess the most obvious one is that in other sports, you're obviously not in a cold pool.
And
That is true.
Sometimes the hardest part of practice is getting in the pool because you know it's going to be
Especially at
Dreadful.
morning practices.
dreadfully cold once you get in the pool.
Especially at morning practices. Ain't that right, Jeb?
Yeah. Yes. Especially at morning practices. So that's the most obvious one, and I guess maybe a similarity between another sport would be cross country. Like
The endurance.
the endurance is the biggest factor that we practice, because I think the philosophy there is that we don't have a huge team. E-Town's got a huge team compared to
And
us.
really good.
Very good swimmers. So our coach wants us to have as much endurance to be able to do as many races to compensate for the lack of numbers on the team.
Yeah, coach is he's very mathematical with regions. He's like, all right, so I know there's not going to be that many kids in the 2IM. So he just starts putting random people in the 2IM.
yeah, that was my question. Do they just throw you in whatever?
He'll experiment with any event, with
Yeah.
any kid. I think I've swam everything.
See, I was in it for 2 months and I did every event at least once, and it was dreadful.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
it's different. You all have been in there for 5 years,
Yeah.
4 years.
And I wouldn't be in there if I didn't enjoy it. We have a really good coach too. Coach
Yeah.
Alex Mead.
He broke records at Council University.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And he's won, what was it, best region swim coach 2 years in a row. Maybe it
Yeah.
was 3.
It was 2 or 3, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Nice. Shout out to Coach Mead.
And that's against big teams like E-Town, Bardstown, Russell County.
Then we also have a really good assistant coach this year, Coach Anna. She also swam for CU.
Okay.
So if you want an experienced coach, swim definitely has an experienced coach.
2 of them.
Well, shout out to Coach Mead and shout out to Coach Anna. You know. I'm gonna just go ahead and we're gonna start closing down. Do you all have any plans to swim in college or to the next level?
If someone gives me a scholarship,
I'm about in the same boat. If somebody offers me anything for it, I'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might try out for something in college, but yeah.
Like walk on.
Yeah.
How would you how would you say the walk on process is for a swim?
Just like anything else, I guess.
You just get a coach and then jump in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be easier for swim because,
there's not many people.
yeah, and they'll look at your times. Like if
Yeah.
you have a time that's comparable to other people on the swim team and you swim it at a walk-on, then you're probably clear, cut, and dry going to be on that team.
Yeah. As I say, that's a little bit of the difference between that and like football or basketball or something like that. You have times of how good you are.
Quantifiable.
Yeah. They're right in front of
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
That's-
So,
That's
go ahead.
Oh, that's what's so satisfying as a sport, because you're not trying to reason with yourself.
It's very exact.
Very
It's
exact.
either you didn't do good or you did good.
Yeah.
and that's more on the individual thing. You're kind of just competing with yourself as opposed to, everyone else in the pool. Yeah.
Which is a different mentality than some people.
Oh, definitely.
like.
Yeah. Because it's a lot different to go against yourself as
Yeah.
opposed to trying to beat everyone else.
Yeah.
I get it. So you said that you would do it if you got a scholarship. Do
I
you
would.
guys have any plans just in general afterwards?
For swim or
Just like future.
life stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to go to college, then law school, and then go from there, I guess.
You are a sophomore. Do you have any plans?
Any future plans?
Pass high school, and then preferably with a 4.0, and then go to college.
Are you on pace for a 4.0?
What'd you say?
Are you on pace for a 4.0?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Keep going. That's about all the questions I have. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
For having us.